I am patiently waiting for some responses. I should say I'm happily waiting for some responses. Good morning, Hanmant. My question was, according to you, what are values? What is worth of? Thank you, Deepthi ma'am. It was an excellent answer. Value means what is worth of, yes. Anything other than that? My slides are visible, right? Hello, ma'am, is my slides visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Only the slides are visible.
No, your video is also visible
Yeah,
along
my
with the
video
slide.
is visible and then my slides are visible.
Yes, everything is current.
Okay, okay. Are you able to see a Word file? No, right?
No, ma'am.
I have put some, you know, important questions in that. I don't know. I think both are not visible together here.
No.
Never mind. Okay, let's go ahead and, ethics is what Nimia ma'am has given. Yes, ma'am. Anything other than that? Values. What do you think the word value refers to us? Lilith, Om Prakash, Bala, sir, anyone? No problem. Actually, let us take a scenario. If you're listening to me, please give me the answers for that. We face a lot of challenges in terms of students, right? Can you explain, can you give me some ideas of the challenges that you see? Yes, Hanman sir, it is status in society also. What are the challenges that you feel uh, when you when you when you are a when you are a teacher in a college? What are the challenges that you are facing? Can I get some answers? Because I need answers for these two questions. Give us some scenarios, some challenges that you face, and some values that you feel that that is already within you. So we are going to talk about these two things today. Believe that I won't advise, I won't give anything, and I'm 100% sure that if you just cooperate with me, the session would be very interesting. Challenges that you face as a teacher. Can I have some answers? I'm audible, right, Nirmal sir?
Yes, ma'am, you're perfectly audible.
Perfectly all right. Yeah, students' conceptual knowledge. Okay, Hanuman sir. Basically, we face a lot of challenges rather than the conceptual knowledge. We face a lot of challenges in terms that students may show some kind of restlessness towards us when we teach. They may show boredom, lack of interest in what we teach. And in terms of assignments, non-submission of assignments on time, sometimes they react something with your body language and shows indiscipline, irregularity, so on and on and on. This is one side of the challenges. So the other higher version of the challenges that we face in the university is that some students may approach by crying, somebody shouts, somebody obviously being shows disrespect to you in front of the class. They've many files a complaint against a teacher with no basis to the complaint, or when a student tell you very abruptly something, or sometimes a student can behave even abnormally, like calling you and informing you that he or she has suicidal tendencies. Have you ever come across these kind of challenges? Your screen is still visible to others. Click to resume or cancel your presentation. What is that, sir?
That's just a reminder from Google Meet, ma'am.
Okay, okay. Yeah, that's it. So what I want to tell you is that we face a lot of challenges. Did any one of you face these kind of challenges in your, experience as a teacher? Anyone? Crying and all those things, maybe, yeah, when somebody passes away in the family or something, all these things you must have, obviously. But have you ever come across with somebody who had said you that he or she wanted to commit suicide? Am I asking some genuine questions? Can I get some answers? Not yet. No problem, Nirmal. Okay. Anyone else? But any kind of other situations that I have mentioned, like, filing a case against you or, what, showing disrespect or something like that. If none of you are feeling, have not received any kind or any challenges in your organization, means I should say that you work in heaven. Hmm. If no challenges are there, means because there are a lot of challenges that we come across. So I think we should realize, we should understand. Yes, lack of interest is obviously there, restlessness is there, boredom this shows. Huh. Isn't it a lot of complaints? So, what is happening with, like hyperactivity is there, disorder is there, indiscipline is there. I think if you could just see the slides that I'm telling you, a lot of small, small things also have been given in that. These are some of the challenges. I should say only some of the challenges that very few of us, face day in and day out. And how do we come out of this? Or what do you think that, what we need to carry? So when as a teacher, when somebody is, reacting you or showing those kind of behavior to you, how will you respond to such situation? This is my another question to you. Will you react or will you respond? Can I get an answer? I thought that I may get, we are teachers and we are very small number of group wherein a lot of interactions will be there. And I was under the impression that that is what this mode of approach I have approached. So every slide I have come out with a question so that I get an answer. So I also have an answer for that. That was the mode of that I have decided. So this is my another question on this particular slide. How will you react to respond? Actually, I am used to these kind of responses because, most of the time when I take classes online, in a class of 70, only 10 members give me answers. Or sometimes, many a times when we call out for the attendance, only we get response, and rest of the time we don't also. But so now I've become adaptable to this, I should say. Uh, so I'm just moving on. Um, Basically, obviously, we need response, right? And sometimes we tend to react also. So our initial reaction would be to get upset, feel that it was not right. Sometimes we may go offended and so on. So after that only we might think about if the situation was like in a different way. What other students who are watching us, think about us and what is the reinforcement we are giving, etc. These are the real concerns that a teacher really has. Okay, so when we should understand what essentially are the basic issues play here when we deal with the students. Okay, so our reactions may be, anger or louder, or we'll ask them to get out of the class, and then only we think what are the repercussions on that, and we may again feel upset about it. Okay, I should not have behaved in that way. I could have taken another step. These all thoughts may come to us after our reactions, or sometimes after our responses also, isn't it? So prior to dealing with any kind of situations, what we should do or what we should understand what are the basic issues play here. So one of the basic issue here is maybe a teacher's sense of pride. I'm an authority in the class. I have done my schoolings well. I have done my PhD. I have what I'm the authority in the classroom, so they should obey. They should respect. This comes from an old school way of looking at things, or old thought, where we have the power play between the teachers and the students. I strongly agree that there is a power distance between teachers and students, but we must also keep in mind that students nowadays have a more democratic or egalitarian view of life due to the current trends in the life. So everywhere they have been treated very democratically, I should say, and the students believe that and also think that they live in a democratic world. They have certain rights. They also have certain amount of commercialization of education. So students, especially in the in the autonomous colleges or in the private colleges or the private universities, they believe that they are paying, so they are entitled to receive X, Y, Z, or whatever it might be. And these must be kept in mind. How do the teachers should now adapt to the changes? Okay, the thought process or the changes. So if teachers ever feel that I've completed studies on time and I have a PhD, I have many years of experience, no student should talk to me like that. If you have an attitude like that, fine. You are entitled to have that attitude. It's okay. You can keep it. But you should also think that what are the repercussions, the consequences of all these. And so this goes back to the thought that what kind of a teacher uh, do you or do I want to be, or how do I want to be remembered uh, as a teacher, maybe 20 years down the road when the students are becoming successful. Okay, god knows whether we are educating another Sundar Pichai or Mark Zuckerberg. So down the line, few years, when they are standing in their successful path and over the podium somewhere and getting some awards and saying that they are thankful for this teacher, that teacher who made an impact on them. I think every one of us, including me, want to be mentioned in that list. We want our student to learn. We want our student to remember us. We want our student to appreciate us. We want them to thank us, isn't it? We want our students to transform. So then uh, we also need some values. So which is more valuable to us? So is it more valuable to us to hold on to our pride, status, or the kind of a teacher that the student like? I never meant that the kind of a teacher means you have to be very permissive or lenient or give them only what they want. Okay, so it is not at all like that. In most cases, the kind of students we get are not disciplined properly, in their house as well. So to a great extent, especially when you handle the graduate level of students, we always have a thought process, or students may take more time for adapting to the graduate level of thinking that we are expecting. Okay, so what do we do is you and me are ending up in doing some amount of parenting work for them, in grooming them, in developing them. So we cannot be neither very permissive or lenient to them, or not to be harsh. We should hit in between, I should say. So the best thing to figure out for yourself is when we were a student, when we were in the school, when we were in college, whom you are remembering as the most affectionate, or whom are you most fond of? When you think that, you will invariably think teachers who are kind to you, considerate to you, sometimes, who are very much with exceptional influencing or explanation of innovative ideas and so on. So when you are at the receiving end of kind and consideration or these kind of other things, uh, that is why when you remember the values which are most affectionate or remembered by you, should you not be extending the same to your students? So I'm just voice downing the essential values that a teacher, how do we want to treat our students? Okay, so it's not necessarily that student always is the issue. It can be with us also. uh, That is what the ultimate thought that we need to bring in. Uh, do you know this portion of the head? What this portion of the head talks about? Any idea? Anyone? One the frontal part of the brain. Nirmal sir, am I audible? Is everybody listening to me? I'm getting embarrassed.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Yes, ma'am.
it's audible,
Right.
ma'am.
Yeah. Basically, what happens is that when you're not getting an answer from your students, you get embarrassed. Similarly, I do feel embarrassed. Hmm. Because for me, coming and delivering a 1 hour lecture, which is not the usual lectures that we do, takes a lot of preparation times, like a lot of determination, dedication towards it, wherein we think that we should make it more attractive uh, so that we are there in the place. That's what. So I prefer people to respond. That's what. So what I meant is that the first part I told what is our feeling towards it. The second part that I should highlight is that we should keep in mind that our students, the majority of them, they belong to 18, 19, 20, 21. Normally we tell
हेडिंग
them
पेज
that.
कीजिए.
Sorry.
बीम, लिखो पहले इसकी डेफिनेशन. A structural member, a
Hello,
structural
Amardeep. Are you
member
listening to me?
subjected to transverse load.
Hello. May I
Second,
continue?
transverse load.
May I continue?
Second, joist. This one. ये और
Hello,
है.
Amardeep Sharma.
लेकिन
Hello.
ये बीम है.
Dr.
दूसरा,
Sharma, are you there? Dr.
इसके बारे
Amardeep?
में लिखेंगे. A beam that
Nirmal sir?
supports that
Hello,
supports
Nirmal John?
only floors. Only floors.
Nirmal John?
फ्लोर्स के ब्रैकेट में लिख देंगे रूट. है ना? फ्लोर के ब्रैकेट में लिख देंगे रूट. ठीक है
Hello.
भाई. तो ये आप देख रहे होंगे. अगर मैं आपको इसको
Should I
लॉन्गिट्यूडनल डायरेक्शन
continue?
बताऊं तो ये आपके पास लेटरल डायरेक्शन होगी. तो ये आपके पास में जनरली ये एक मेन बीम होगी. ये एक मेन बीम होगी जिसको मैं बोल दूंगा गर्डर. इस गर्डर के रेस्पेक्ट में आपके पास डिफरेंट डिफरेंट स्टील पड़ी हुई है. देखिए इसकी तुलना में इस मेन गर्डर की तुलना में
Can
हल्की
anyone call
एक
Dr.
डायरेक्ट बीम
Amardeep
होता है
Sharma
और
and
इस
ask him
डायरेक्शन
to
होता है
mute
लेटरल
himself?
डायरेक्शन. तो आप इसका इसी के अंदर सेकंड पॉइंट बना करके लिख सकते हैं. These are lateral beams.
Hello, Amardeep
These
Sharma.
are lateral beams. ठीक है. और ब्रैकेट में डाल देंगे इसके लेटरल बीम क्या है? लाइट बीम. ठीक है.
Is Limia Rose Joshua here?
Please,
ठीक है भाई. ये जो 10
participants,
8 7 8 पॉइंट
Amardeep,
लिखवाएंगे
please
आपको सारे इंटरव्यू के क्वेश्चन
mute
हैं.
your mic,
पूछ
please.
लेगा आपसे इंटरव्यू के अंदर, बताओ जॉइस्ट क्या होता है स्टील स्ट्रक्चर के अंदर. जॉइस्ट आप तुरंत बताएंगे कि आपके पास में ये लेटरल डायरेक्शन में पड़ी हुई हल्की बीम होती है जो डायरेक्टली सपोर्ट करती है आपके.
Okay, ma'am. You can
Can I
continue.
continue, Nirmal John?
Sure, ma'am. I've muted his mic.
Thank you. That's okay. So is my slides visible to you? I was about to tell another important thing in handling the students. The second, the first part we finished with what we feel and how do we behave and what are our thoughts. The second part that we must keep in mind that majority of our students are of the age between 18 to 21, and even though they are only 18 to 21, we tend to tell them that you don't know how to behave, you still make up dumb decisions, these are important things that you should do, so and so, like we tend to advise them. But if we go biologically, if you look at their brain development, for example, the part that behind the forehead, which you can see it in the PowerPoint slide, it is called the frontal lobe. This part takes care of the attention span, decision making, risk taking, impulsive behavior, and so on. So all these are controlled by the frontal lobe. It's not fully developed till you are 25. So this part of the brain is the rational part of a teen's brain. So, and which is not fully developed and won't be until the age of 25. So, we teachers, adults, okay, above the age of 25, um, think with prefrontal cortex, okay, and the brain's rational part. This is the part of the brain that responds to situations with good judgment and awareness of long-term consequences, etc. What we need to keep in mind that developmentally also, our students are not mature. Just because they are physically mature, they are 5 feet 7 inches or 6 feet 2 inches long, doesn't mean that they are mentally and emotionally or rather biologically fully developed. So still their brain is not developed. So how can we expect them to be like us or behaving like mature? How can we expect our students to behave like as we are? They're still in developing stage until they turn 25. So many MRIs can show the results. You can also see that people take all kind of risk at this age, and they suddenly we see that after 30 they have become good people. It's not because they're transformed. Somewhat biologically they have become mature. Exceptions may be there. Some people are naturally or with the kind of experience they are undergoing, or they show maturity at a young age, maybe because of the kind of parenting or challenges or responsibilities they must have faced in life. They must show some kind. And another challenge that we face is the parenting. Many of us are brought up very strict parents, but nowadays you can see that parents are also, kids are also brought up with they're very leniently brought up. And the other biggest difference uh, that we can see them is, the usage of social media. Social media has emerged as one of the intermediary mechanism. Minute up to the minute channels, everyone is connected, unavoidable means in shaping the perceptions of people. So when you uh, social media has influenced to in their perceptions of towards the value system that is created in them. So it has altered the way that we perceive the ideas of everything in between us, whether it is brands, products, services. It has one of the most leading dynamic
Excuse me,
evidence. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
ma'am. Your slides are not changing.
Are you my slide such? No. Oh, I am in the social media slide.
No, you are still on the title slide. Human values for emotional resilience
Oh my
management
God,
system.
I am continuously changing the slides, but I don't know what is it happening. Is it changing now?
No.
It's not being shared now, I think so.
Okay.
Presenting mode is not enabled.
All right.
Can you
Not
share
a
the
problem.
entire screen
Uh, this is what I did,
by
sir.
sharing the entire screen?
Yes, sir, I did. Is this fine? Sir, is it visible now?
Can you
Ma'am,
run
it's
the
visible.
slideshow?
You
Sorry,
change the
sir.
slides, please.
Is it visible?
Yes, ma'am, it's visible. But I don't know whether it's changing or not.
No,
No, is
slides
it
are not.
changing? I have it, now it is reaction versus responses.
No, we are still with the basic issues slide.
Yeah, is it still in the basic issues?
Yes, ma'am.
Is it changing now to the brain figure?
No, no.
No, madam.
Is it now changing?
No, it's actually you have to
No,
share your
no.
entire screen, not just
I did
any
entire
window.
screening. Only this slide is there in my laptop. Only pictures are there with me. No problem. I'll do once again. This is the entire screen, right, sir? Is my slides visible now?
Slides are visible.
Yes, visible.
Is slides are moving?
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, now
Okay.
it's
Yes, madam.
Okay. So is it slides moving now?
yes, ma'am.
Okay, so this was my first slide to you about the human values. Then I spoke to you about the challenges that the students face. Then I spoke the kind of reactions and responses that we do give. Then the basic issues that the pride with us. Then the second issue that highlighted was the frontal part of the forehead and the maturity that they receive at the age of 25. And then we spoke about the thought process and the parental upbringing and the difficulties. Then I was talking about the influence of social media. Is that fine?
Yes, fine.
Okay, so the next thing I would like to tell you is that it's about the behavior. So in the classroom, what we see is only the behavior part. It is just like the tip of the iceberg. When the student is behaving, we only differentiate good behavior, bad behavior, and all. So we could only differentiate with the behavior. But behavior is always an out, it's an outcome of the underlying values in you. So, what is the underlying values in you? That is what we are going to discuss. Okay, so can anyone tell me what do you think is a good behavior and what do you think is a bad behavior? Can we differentiate on that? Oh, sorry, as I was in the slide, this thing, I have not seen the messages. Like, only title slide was visible. I was continuously going on and on talking. I hope, you heard me. So, what is the difference? What do you think as a good behavior or bad behavior? Can you differentiate? And this is my last slide to you. Rather than me going ahead and all, let me tell you what are the mega shifts which is going to happen or which is already happening in. So, in the this is the only slide, the last slide that I'm going to show it to you. Uh, is the slide visible? Digitalization, mobilization, mediation, screenification, disintermediation, transformation, intelligization, automation, virtual. These are some words I have given, and I hope it is visible to you. And do you understand what is all these things? Are you able to see the slides? Can I get some kind of
Yes, ma'am.
responses?
Yeah, we can see the slide. Could you please
All right.
explain it to us?
Oh, definitely, sir. Thank you so much for the response. So, the essence of the discussion till now, what we have done here is that, we talk about some developmental issues of the students, that students face a lot of issues, but we only see the behavior. Okay. How do you recognize that? What is the underlying value that a student holds when he is behaving in one way? So this is what which we wanted to understand in this particular slide. I'm going to sum it up very fast. Digitization refers to Nirmal John. Nirmal John. Om Prakash sir. Om Prakash sir, can you mute yourself?
Yes, yes, madam.
Om Prakash sir, kindly mute yourself.
Yes, madam. Yes, madam.
Thank you. It's okay. Today, we are learning what is resilience, and many occasions have today happened that I could show up my resilience, isn't it? Because earlier, many of like 2, 3 times disturbances was there, 2, 3 time what the slide was not visible, or people have in between disturbed in these things. So how we can show resilience to the students? That is what I think I am practically showing it to you. So in this particular slide, I just wanted to tell you that when you think about values, you talk about ethics, honesty, openness, and all. But in order to manage the new digital era students, we need more. So when you think about these two words, digitization and digitalization, digitization means what? Digital representation of physical objects, right? And digitalization is almost existing data, and digitalization embraces the what ability of digital technologies to collect data, establish trends, make better business decisions, all these things that we do. So what do we understand? What is the value of this digitization and digitalization? Do these two words have some values? The value which is associated to these are adaptability, isn't it? We have started adapting it when COVID has come. We have learned adaptability. We have learned online teaching. We have adaptable to all those things. So adapting is also kind of value. Adapting lessons to each students can be very demanding. Every student, they may be having with special increasing needs. So understanding and giving them their own needs is a kind of adaptability value that we need to showcase. Then another word which I have used is the mobilization and mediation. Mobilization means what? Nothing is stagnant. Everything is movable. So everything is movable now. Now the medium that we use is internet. We need effective communication and effective confidence for mediation. So effective confidence is also another value that we need to bring into the classroom. Sometimes it is hard to be confident and believe in yourself. Having confidence in your students or colleagues can even more demanding for us. So when we teachers encounter teamwork daily, this can be very beneficial, because when one of your colleagues are facing some problems, what do you normally do? You go and advise them, right? Instead of Rather than that, tomorrow onwards, post them questions. Okay, ask them what is the root cause of their issue, and by posing questions, you are encouraging your colleague to think and find a solution what is best for them, instead of giving them advices. The other word which I wanted to highlight is disintermediation. So I now talk about mediation. I'm coming to disintermediation. What is disintermediation? uh, Reduction in the use of intermediaries, right? Nowadays, almost all the work that we do manage ourselves, all your banking work, all the other work that we manage, all the cash transactions, everything. So during the pandemic, one thing is noticed that earlier there were a lot of intermediaries, like man gods were there. Most of them are disappeared, right? You will not be able to see a lot of man gods because of this pandemic time. Nobody is there for hugging or anything. So this what is this disintermediation leads to? Jokes apart, now everything is almost coming to your doorstep. What is disintermediation leads to? Which means that high market transparency is there. So be highly transparent with it. Another word is intelligence. So intelligization, which means willing to accept and consider other views, which is value to you. Okay, so elements of intelligence include ability for reasoning, planning, solving problems, and all. Along with that, you need power, you need achievement. Achievement is also value. You cannot say that. So I'm just putting a small a website wherein you can go and identify what are your inherent values, which I hope. Hello. Am I audible? Are you able to see a survey?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is something that I don't have anything to show you or tell him. I intended to wind it up fast because I've come out with a lot of activities in between. But as I'm not getting much of a response, I'm just winding it up fast. So how will you find the values of the students? That is one of the important questions I've expected from you. And another question I've expected from you is that your organization will have some values, you have some values, and your student have some values. How will you incorporate these three things? And so these are the takeaways I thought that I will definitely share with you guys. But I don't know, as no response, how do we communicate, or are you all with me, or are you listening, or or would you mind going and checking your own values with the with the details that I have given you, so that you can definitely look into it. Okay, so the other thing which we wanted to talk here is a linkage between resilience and how do resilience we will bring in. And I don't know whether everybody know the um, everyone must be knowing the meaning of resilience. Resilience is defined as the ability to recover from setbacks. Resilience is not resistance. Resilience is not avoidance of stress. Resilience is the ability to recognize and acknowledge that okay, certain situation is difficult. I realize that the situation that I'm sitting here and talking to is slightly painful for me also, but I am choosing a response that leads to growth. Okay, so it is like an ability to power through difficult situations and come out of other side. Got it? So resilience equips us with the ability to step back and accept the negative aspects to a challenging situation. How will you recognize it? How will you control it? How will you come out of it? And resilience means recognizing what we cannot change and control. I'll not be able to change and control the opposite person who are sitting in, isn't it? Focusing instead on the positive impact, we can bring in only certain control and change within ourselves. So resilience training is important as far as every one of us is considered, because none of us are 100% resilient. We all have areas which personally challenges and our resilience also. So through having resilience training, we can we can support, or we can create a network to each other, and heightened awareness to our own emotions. So the connection between values and resilience is that values act as a source of motivation, and people's values, like their needs, induce balance. I think all engineering teachers, you must be knowing what is valency, in chemistry, that we have learned in long back. It is the combining power of element, right? So elements in the same group of a periodic table have same valency. So similar to that, the values system develops resilience, and that reflects our behavior. So actions become more attractive, more valued subjectively, uh, so that we perform well. That's all from my side, Nirmal sir. I think more open for the discussions. If anybody is interested, they can definitely have a discussion with me. Nirmal sir, are you there? Can anyone talk to me, please?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Joe sir, tell me.
Could you repeat the question, ma'am?
Sorry.
Could you repeat the question?
No, my question is only that much. Whatever I wanted to say, I have to sum it up. So if you have anything on it, we will further go for a discussion.
I think that's it. And we are having some network problem over here.
Oh, is it? Okay, okay. Okay, I understand. So shall I wind up? Thank you, Hanuman sir.
Thanks a lot, ma'am, for the session and bearing with us. During this
Thank you,
time.
Joseph. Thank you. Thank you. Good day. All the best to all of you.